Mr. Alex Liu. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's sharing session. My name is Alex. I'm the manager for Client Services Asia in IEEE. So most of the time, I'll provide training sessions, sharing sessions, host discussions with researchers and faculties from academia and research institutions to share about IEEE Explore resources, as well as topics like today, how to publish with IEEE. Together with me is Mr. Ken from our partner in Malaysia, Access Dunia. He and his team manage the service and support for all the Malaysian universities on behalf of IEEE to provide the underground and frontline services and supports. So without further ado, allow me to start the presentation. And I have to be honest that I don't use Google Meet for these kind of trainings most of the time. So do give me a few minutes, figure out the sharing portion, because sometimes the Google Meet, the sharing can be quite a little bit different, right? So let me start the PowerPoint presentation. There will be two major components of today's sharing. The first part is a PowerPoint going through the essential points. And the second part is the live demonstration of IEEE Explore, as well as the paper submission process, because we believe that to show you how things works is more persuasive rather than talk about it. So I will start the first part by going through some of the essential points. These are my I hope you can see the screen. Right, so this is the
Yes, we can see it clearly.
My apologies. This is the agenda for today. It looks like quite a lot of things for me to cover, but I will focus on a few things. I will start with introducing IEEE and briefly talk about the publishing choices. The main choices, conferences, and journals. What's the difference? And I'll briefly talk about open access as well. For manuscript preparation, because given the targeted audience today are actually our faculties and postgraduate students, I'm not going to read the slides because I trust you have read at least some publications. Definitely, because otherwise there's no point to talk about you writing a paper and publish the paper, right? We need to read other people's paper first. Then you can talk about research and publishing. So I will spend some time on the identifying the journals and conferences and show you a live demonstration of paper submission. Briefly talk about the peer review process. IEEE, currently we are the world's largest technical membership organization. How it works is we organize what we call is technical societies. So for example, if you are a student or researcher or faculty, we welcome you to join IEEE as a member. And depending on your interest, for example, if you're interested in computer science, then we have a computer society. And we also have geographic units. For example, in Malaysia, we have our Malaysia sections. In Singapore, there's a Singapore section, and we have like Tokyo sections and all these. So even in universities, we also have some of the student branches. So as a member of IEEE, you will be involved in all these activities. But of course, when it comes to publishing, IEEE Explore is the platform that hosts the publications. Right now, we have about 6.9 million publications in IEEE Explore. 6.9. So it consists many journals, conferences, and of course it has e-learnings, e-books, standards, etc. But again, coming from an author's perspective, I would say you want to look at journals and conferences. IEEE provide a lot of journals, and right now we are embracing this open access publishing. For example, most of our journals nowadays, they are actually hybrid journals, which means you can publish in open access or non-open access. The choice is yours. We also have full open access topical journals. And one of the good things is you are from UNIMAP. So if you are a student or researcher coming from UNIMAP, when you publish with IEEE, and if you want to publish as open access, then the article processing charge you need to pay for the open access is discounted because of the support from the UniMed libraries. So for example, initially you need to pay 2,000, but you get like a 15, can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 15% discount.
Yes, correct.
So you don't need to pay the 2,000, you only pay like 1,700. So this is, everybody has to thank the support from our libraries. I'll talk a little bit about open access in the later part, in the live demo, where you can find all these information, right? Of course, when we talk about journals, there are so many journals around the whole world. Why do you need to publish with IEEE? Well, it's the same as why you need to choose and study in good universities. It's all about the qualities, right? So IEEE journals did a very good job in terms of the qualities. Ranking is very high. A lot of them are in Q1 and Q2. And if you are an author, if you have a paper published in one of these top ranking journals, congratulations, your name is known. So if you see, hey, Alex, congratulations, you just published a paper with one of the IEEE transactions, people will know that you are not just publishing, you're publishing with quality, top-ranking journals from IEEE. And if you look at the quartile, not only the individual title, but in terms of the bigger overview, in terms of the quartile distribution of all the IEEE journals, IEEE is pretty much conquering electrical engineering, telecommunication, computer science subjects. My apologies. So this is the call for today. We'll talk about the different publishing choices, mainly journals and conference, then talk about the paper structure, paper submission and peer review process, and we briefly talk about the research ethics and publication ethics when it comes to IEEE. Now, although I'm speaking on behalf of IEEE, but I will say almost everything that I'm sharing today will apply to all the major publishers. In fact, all the academic publishers, they should follow the same or similar guidelines, because after all, we are talking about technical research, scientific communications. So we have two choices, either journal or conferences. IEEE offers both. So as an author, you need to decide which type of paper you want to write. The big difference is a journal paper is looking for clear conclusion, final results, while a conference paper can be written while the research is ongoing, which means I have not completed the research, but you can still write for a conference paper. Then what are the things you need to write, you need to report in the conference paper, since you don't have the final findings? Well, you need to at least provide what is new. What is your new research hypothesis, new research topic, new research approach, your methodologies, and of course, you need some initial results to be involved in the discussions to show or prove to your readers, including your reviewers, that your research has an impact. You cannot just say, oh, I'm working on a research that is aiming to solve the cancer for all the patients. But if you ask me about my progress, I don't have any progress yet. Then it doesn't make sense, right? So you still need to report some preliminary results to highlight the progress and the the importance, the impact of the research. So IEEE has both. So as an author, how do we decide? And for each one of them, there's always advantage, or rather challenges. For journals, as we have seen earlier, top qualities, highly cited, but the challenge is, similar to if you are aiming to admitted to a top universities like Harvard or MIT. It's very fierce competitions, isn't it? So that we have to be prepared for a very fierce peer review process, and there is a high percentage of rejection. Now, it doesn't mean that, oh, as long as my research is correct, is 100% accurate, then my paper is accepted. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It's not like last time, as long as I get 100 out of 100, you are the best student. Unfortunately, when it comes to paper submissions and all this, almost everyone's research is correct. Then how do we select? It's based on the impact, the quality of the research. So for conference, the good thing is IEEE has been organizing global conferences, and many of them for many years. So there are many venues, opportunities for you to attend and get your paper published in a conference. But the challenge is because conference still require you to register, you still need to participate, and you need to present the paper in the conference. So this might involve, for example, budget issues. You need to pay for the registration fee, and if it's an overseas conference, the travel and logistics. And if you do not present the paper at the conference, it will not be published in IEEE Explore, and it won't be indexed in other databases, which means your future readers may not be able to find your papers. So that's the challenge when it comes to conferences. IEEE has most, and later I will share with you where you can find the full list of IEEE journals and where you can find all the upcoming conferences that IEEE is organizing. And for open access, right now is mainly looking at the journals. For conference, not many. Most of the time we're talking about open access publishing in journals. Open access provided greater visibility and shorter submission to publication timeline. And of course, the compliance with funders' requests as well. So this section regarding the paper structure, I'll just quickly go through them. I'm not going to read all the slides. And in fact, I will be very honest with you. You don't need to study about what I need to write in the title, what I need to write in the introduction. The reason is, number one, the best way to study is to read. You have to read other people's research papers to know how other people write and why the journals are accepting. A lot of the time, as an author, as a researcher, we are spending too much time looking at ourselves. What is my research topic? How should I write the paper? What is the editors and reviewers are looking for in this particular journal so that I can write it accordingly? If you ask me, that is not the best approach. If you think about all the while back, how do we study? We do homeworks. How do we prepare for exams? We use past year exam papers as practices, and we have to attend, or rather take quite a lot of mock exams, right? Our teachers, our lecturers give us mock exams so that we can test out how good it is. So the best way is we have to learn from other people. And we are talking about paper that has already published in IEEE journals. So for example, if you look at, what's needed in the title, very simple. You read the paper that are published in IEEE journals, and you ask yourself, what has the author written? If I am the author, will I be using the same title? Will I be choosing a different title? Why do I think that the author is not having a good title? What are the better titles I can make use? What are the things I can learn from this particular author? That is a more practical approach rather than following the guidelines I have listed here. Of course, the guideline is more to highlight the essential things, but following these slides does not provide you the best answer. The best answer is go out there, read, and write. And I'm sure for today, we do have new authors. We are aiming to write a journal paper or conference paper, which can be like 9 pages, 10 pages, 8 pages. For conference paper, it's 4 to 6 pages. So before you write the 9-page or even it's a 4-page conference paper, how often do we write? Do we just wait until the research is over, then we write the paper? And during the 6 months or 4 months of research, do we write anything? Do we even write a 1-page or 2-page abstract or summaries, or even a simple form of research progress report, whether it's to the supervisor or just to yourself? Because the way of writing is not until when the research is over, then you think about writing the paper. That's like we are studying for the whole semester. I didn't do any homework. I didn't take any past year exam papers or mock exams. Straight away, I go to the examination hall and hoping that I get 100. Do anyone or us think that it's going to work? We all know that's not going to work, right? So we need to practice writing along the way. Abstracts is actually a summary of the paper. The keywords are meant to highlight. The slides will be shared with you, but if you ask me, the structure of the paper is the least important. If you have read a paper, you will know everything about what this section is talking about. Introduction is meant to give you give the readers generally know information about the topics as well as to discuss your hypothesis, while the methodology is explained to your readers how you solve the problem. The methodology portion is the part where you use illustrations to clarify the ideas and support the conclusions. And the results and discussions is more to summarize the data and interpret the results. One thing when it comes to summarizing the data and reporting the results is we need to report it in a way so that your readers are able to understand what you are reporting, why this matters. For example, you are dealing with experiments or simulations. It has a lot of data. How are you going to report it? Are you going to put everything in a table with 20 rows, 4 columns with a lot of numbers? If you think from your reader's perspective, by reading the table, will he or she be able to observe any trend, any highlights? Yes, obviously you will try to explain and interpret and discuss about this in your discussion section, but the table itself has to have a meaning. If your table is only to report the 50 numbers you are collecting, then in that case, you should not include it in the paper. You should include it as an appendix, because that's not core for the discussions, because the discussion is meant to interpret the results. I don't think you are going to interpret all the 50 values. It's only some of them, isn't it? So from the introduction to the results discussion and even the conclusion, the whole paper has to be written for the readers. I know, we all know the research is done by you, it is written by you, but you are not the most important person for this paper. The most important person for this paper is, or rather are, your reviewers and your future readers. They should be able to understand, why are you reporting this? What's the impact? What's the progress? What's the achievement? That is what you need to highlight in this paper. Conclusion is pretty much echoes to the introduction. In the introduction, you raise the research proposal or your hypothesis, and in the conclusion, you have to explain what the research has achieved. What's the results? What's the benefit? What's the impact? Is there any future areas or multidisciplinary research that your research can be applied or extended to? So that will help your readers, again, to further understand or comprehend what your research is about. Reference list is provided for your references. No, it's not for your references. It is, again, for your readers' references. Throughout the whole research process, you might have read 50, 100 articles, but not all the 50 of them are directly supporting what you are reporting in this paper. You should only include references that are directly supporting what you have reported in this paper, because the references are also for your readers, so that your readers is better able to understand the research. It's not for you. You have another reference list, which is managed by your reference management software, which definitely is a longer list. But for the article, you should only report those are directly supporting this particular paper. I will talk about the peer review process first. Then we'll come back again to talk about the submission through a live demo. So this is the whole process from submission to publication. After the paper is submitted, there is a pre-screening, which talks about they're not looking at the quality or accuracy of the research. No, they're just looking at what topic is your paper related to and what is the format of the paper. So if the topic is not what the journal is covering, then there's no point to continue for the peer review, right? And you will notice that if there's something wrong with the formatting of the paper, then still you can go back and resubmit the paper again. Your paper will be sent for reviewers to do the peer review, and from there, the reviewers will give the comments to the editors. The editor will make the decision whether it's accept, reject, or revise. For revision, you can revise the paper by corresponding to the reviewer's comments, send it back to the reviewers again, then there's a second round of revision. That's how the peer review works. Sometimes there can be 2 rounds or 3 rounds. The only thing is, if we are talking about conferences, most of the time there is not much time for 2 rounds or 3 rounds of revision. So for conference paper, maximum there's only 1 round of revision, and a lot of them, they don't even have revision. They straight away will just tell you accept or reject. And even if there is 1 round of revision, after that revision, it's going to be accept or reject. There's no time for the authors or the reviewers to go through it again and revise again. The editors and reviewers are working for the journals and conferences, but ultimately, the editors and reviewers are working for the readers. So just now I was giving the example that the authors that the research is accurate, well, but the paper is still rejected. That's because being accurate on the research itself is a very bare minimum of the requirement to be considered for the peer review. The most important thing the editor and reviewers are looking for is the impact and the level of the research and the article. Is it appropriate or does it match for these particular journals? So high-ranking journals obviously is looking for impactful research, frontier, cutting-edge research. So if your aim, and I mean, as a researcher, everybody wants to publish in top-ranking journals. So ultimately, it's not about the journals. It is about your research. So we, as a researcher, we have to ask ourselves, what is the level of my research? Is it on par with what this journal is looking for? Some of us might be asking, like, how do I know? Well, you can know, because the way to know what kind of level or what kind of research the journal is looking for is very simple. Just find that particular journal and read the papers that are relevant to your subjects that has already been accepted and published on the journal. It's as simple as that. Just read those papers. Those papers have passed the peer review. And all we have to do is ask ourselves a very simple question. Am I able to do what these authors have done? Is my research on par or about the same level of those papers in terms of impact, in terms of importance, in terms of groundbreaking or achievement, right? So that's the scope. The rest of it, like validity, data, clarity, compliance, novelty, pretty much, again, this is all about the research itself. So ultimately, it is not about the paper. It is about what you have reported in the paper, which is the research itself. So why do we reject the paper? Number one reason is the same reason. It's just not a good fit. It's not because the research is wrong. It's simply just that it's not a good fit. So sometimes there are scientific flaws, sometimes it's poorly written, not well presented, the quality is not good enough, etc. But generally, most of the time, it's not a good fit. Yeah. So a lot of the time, especially for journal, there are revisions available, required. And a lot of the time, these are because the reviewers are asking questions or giving the comments. So sometimes, even before the decision letter, before the revision letter, there is another round, which is reviewers' comments or reviewers' questions. So how do we respond to those? Is never take it personal. always keep an open mind and take time to develop a response. Always try to relate your response to the articles, what you are reporting in the articles. This is very important. And furthermore, it's always recommended that before you reply to the editors or the reviewers with your response, always discuss with your co-authors or your supervisors so that they will take a second look of what you are responding, make sure all the questions are answered, whatever the reviewers and editors are asking for, so-called responded, as well as reflected in the revised paper, because ultimately you need to provide a revised paper with amendment changes and sometimes even additional data or information in the paper. So that is required. So before I come to this, let me bring you to IEEE Explore. I will show you a live demonstration of the paper submission process. So let me stop sharing now. And I will just give me a minute. I'll bring you to IEEE Explore to show you the platform. Just give me 1 minute. Right, so this is IEEE Explore homepage. Right. As you can see now, we have 6.9 million publications. And this consists of journals, conferences, and other formats of publications as well. As an author, most of the time you are focusing on journals and conferences. So one of the commonly asked questions is, I have a paper on subject ABC, on research topic XYZ, which journal should I submit to? Well, if you know ABC and XYZ, you know what your research is about. You should have the answer. Very simple. For example, artificial intelligence is a hot topic. I have a research topic on artificial intelligence. But of course, you're not talking about the whole AI domain, isn't it? Nobody can study the whole AI domain. Definitely it's about something related to part of AI, right? So AI and let's say bioinformatics, right? And subtopics. So instead of bioinformatics, maybe I can use an asterisk to represent the wildcard. So I'm looking for anything that's related to bioinfo, something related to AI. Yes, there's about 2,500 articles, journals, and conferences. So next question is, so Mr. Alex, are you going to write a journal paper or a conference paper? Well, I'm going to write a journal paper. There are already 928 journal papers published on AI related to bioinformatics. And then what is the question? The question is which journal, right? Which journal you want to submit to? Publication title. So this is where the 900 papers are published in. Which journal? Well, all of these can be your potential candidate. But of course, like exactly which one? Well, unfortunately, you have to be the one that answers that question. Which means these are your potential candidate. Potential candidate. Any one of these can be possibly a venue for you to submit your paper. What you need to do now is you need to spend some time to read the papers that are published on these journals. For example, Journal of Biomedical and Health Informatics. You might be saying, oh, there are so many papers, 137. Do I need to read all of them? And there's so many journals. Do I need to read all of them? Well, you make the decision. If you spend more time on one individual journal, you will roughly have an idea of what kind of topics these papers these papers are publishing to or relevant to, right? So you have an idea in terms of level, in terms of the relevancy. So in this case, I'm only looking at the 137 papers. Of course, you don't need to read all the full text. Some of them, based on looking at the title and the abstracts, you will know that this is not what my research is about. But some of the paper, let's say this one is related to my subject, my domain, then you need to read the paper and you need to know what is the level of this research. And again, a very simple question to ask is, am I able to do what this researcher have done? Is my research about the same level in terms of impact, in terms of importance of what this paper is reporting? If you want to study in Harvard, very simple, look at how did those guys get into Harvard? What kind of exam score did John get? What kind of achievement did John get before he got into Harvard? What is his achievement? If he is an Olympic game winner, that's why he got in, and I'm not, so I know I can't get in from there. So it's the same, right? So from here, you will have a sense of the level of the journal, what topics this journal is reporting, and where is my research in terms of level, in terms of impact. And if I think that, well, I can do, my research is about the same impact as what these papers are reporting, then congratulations, you can submit to this paper. All you have to do is click on this hyperlink. It will bring you to the journal's homepage. And as you can see, it has a submit manuscript. That's it. All you have to do is click on submit manuscript. Right. So you will be brought to a page where you are asked to log in. And you have to create an account, obviously. If you don't have an account, you create an account. If you have an account, just log in. So I will log in using my account. The interface is as simple as sending an email. I trust everybody knows how to send an email. It's the same here. There will be clear guidelines of how you should submit. It's a step-by-step procedure. And once we are in, let me refresh the page. Right. Once we are in, it says IEEE author portal. You want to start a submission, start a submission. And on the right-hand side, you see your progress is here. I define what is article type, upload a manuscript, title, abstract, author affiliation, author details, match organization. Use your official UNIMAP full name. Do not type in UNIMAP, no, full name, right? Then or match organization, everything is here. Then there's the final result. As simple as that. I trust everybody is able to do this. So that is submitting to journals. As simple as that. The most challenging part is you need to spend time to understand about the journals, to learn and know more about these journals. All these are your potential candidates. You need to spend time to read about those publications that has already published on this paper that are relevant to your subject, so you roughly know the level of these journals. Then you will be able to comprehend, to make a judgment whether your paper is a good match to this particular journal. Right, so this is for journals. For submissions, submission to conference is a similar approach. Let's say I'm going to prepare for a conference paper, again, publication title. So these are all the all the conferences that are publishing a lot of this particular topic. It looks like this BIBM, International Conference of Bioinformatics and Biomedicine. This journal conference has been publishing a lot of papers. Looks like a big important conference. Well, I can just copy this. Right, BIBE is a big conference. BIBM is another one. BIBE is another one. So, of course, as you can see, these are the conferences happening in the past. There's no way we can travel in time to attend these conferences. I'm looking for conferences that are happening in the future. So for that, I need to come back to IEEE Explorer, scroll all the way down, upcoming conferences. Click on see all upcoming. So this is the full list of all the upcoming conferences that IEEE is organizing. As of now, we have over 1,815. Yesterday, when I look at this number, is 1,811. So in less than 24 hours, there's another 4 conferences added to this listing. These are all the upcoming conferences that are happening. Some of them are happening as we speak. See? And this is happening in India. This is happening in India. Looks like a lot of conference in India. This one is in China. So the one I'm looking for is BIBE. Right? See? This is the one I'm looking for. Or BIBM is another one. And this is also planned. So that's how you do a search. Another way of searching is you can refine it by conference date. Let's say you have a certain date in mind, or conference location. I always like to use conference location. Malaysia is one of the countries with the most number of conferences. 34 already planned. And this, we're talking about around the whole world, right? So this is happening in October in KL, Kuching. I like Kuching, so let's go to Kuching. In October, I click on this one, and it will tell you where it's going to happen, hybrid event, and most important is actually this one. It says conference website. Click on it. It brings you to the actual conference website, and from here, always pay attention to important date, because it will tell me where is it? Yes. Full paper submission initially is June, extend to July, extend to August, and that's it. No more extension. Oops, we missed the boat. That's why for conference, you have to look far, far ahead. You cannot wait. Oh, I want to attend a conference in October. Now it's in September. Let me check it out. I'm sorry, it's too late. Right? So that's why. Another thing you may notice is notification or acceptance, first round of submission, extended submission. Let's use this one, extended round of submission. The last date for paper submission is 15th of August. And for these people, they will receive a notification or acceptance or rejection by 31st of August. There's only 2 weeks for the peer review. So do you think there's any possibility for revision for this conference? The answer is obviously it's a no, right? Because it's either yes or no in 2 weeks. There's no time for revision. So that's one of the unique features of conference. And if for conferences, they have prepared all the resources and dedicated section of call for authors, author guideline, tracks and fees. Let's say author guideline. They will tell you what are the paper formats, the font size, templates, and how do you submit. Right, this is a paper submission process. Explore, the different tracks. These are the tracks, 6 main track, different topics. Another thing is you may notice about the fees. Now the fee is not about the fee for publication. It's about the fee for register and attend the conference. As I was sharing since the beginning, the unique feature for conference is in order for your paper to be accepted and published in IEEE conference, the paper has to be presented by at least one author in the conference, which means someone from your author list has to go there, attend, and present the paper. So that's why there's this registration fee here, right? So of course, as you can see, if you're IEEE member, the registration fee is already discounted. So that will save you quite a while. money in terms of attending the conference. So that's for conference submission. Okay, so let me stop sharing now, and we come back to the last portion, which is the research and publishing ethics. So just give me 1 minute. Share the PowerPoint. There are 3 major things when it comes to ethics in publishing. Now, we're not talking about the overall ethics in research, because research ethics, that's a much bigger topic. It comes, it has so many sub-domains, from the research design and the research management and etc., which is not the topic for today. I'm only focusing on the ethics in publishing. So the first one, plagiarism. Whatever is not ours, we should provide proper credit and citations. We should not steal other people's ideas and research, right? So that's the first one. Always provide proper citation. And the next one is the use of AI. IEEE has a very clear guideline on use of AI. We have a dedicated page on IEEE Author Center, which explains to you about this. The general idea is whichever portion, whatever extent that you are using AI, you need to make a disclaimer. Whether it's a language, the formatting of the graph and figures and charts, you need to explain and highlight it. And of course, there are some examples which is described in the page, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And the last but not least is the duplicate submissions. If you have one paper, you should only submit to one venue, and you should only submit original research, which means research that has not been published before, research that is yours, it's not somebody else, and research that has not been submitted to other places. For example, if you are submitting to another journal or another conference, then in that case, you cannot submit that work to IEEE, because we are looking for original research that has not been published yet. This same principle applies, I'm sure, to all the other publishers as well. So whichever journal or conference you are attending or submitting a paper, you should follow the same guideline. Last but not least, I will share with you this website, IEEE Author Center. In here, you can find IEEE article templates. And we have a tool, Find a Journal, to help you to find relevant journals. So this is how it looks like. You can key in a list of keywords, say your research is about machine learning. They will provide you a list of the journals that covers this topic. You can see it will tell you whether open access is available, what's the impact factor, as well as the submission to publication time frame. So let me stop sharing the PowerPoint. I will bring you to this website and I will show you how it works. Right, so just give me 1 minute. I will share you here. This is IEEE Explore. So in here, you can just do a very simple Google search, IEEE Author Center. And this is the website. It has all the information. You see, IEEE article templates, tools for IEEE authors, guidelines, policies, it's all listed. So under journal authors, you can do a search like template here, or I will just show you authoring tools and templates. This is the article template. And you can also find some other tools to help you to create your text, graphics, and submit your article, and the peer review process, the ethics in peer review, the checklist and peer review policies, article submission process, how does it work, publication recommender, etc. All the information is here, right? So this is the article template. Depending on what you are submitting, let's say a journal and original research, and depending on the format, LaTeX or Word, right? Everything is under IEEE Author Center. There's another website which I will show you. Is called open.ieee.org. Or you can just do a quick search, IEEE Open. That's it. IEEE Open. This website is a one-stop information portal For everything you need to know about open access publishing is IEEE. For authors, author benefit, workflow, additional resources, and we have a full IEEE title list here. IEEE title list. This is the full list of all the IEEE titles. Publication title, open access. What's the impact factor, which quartile is all listed here. It's under IEEE open. Right, so that's the last thing I'd like to share. Let me stop sharing now. We still have a few minutes for Q&A. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh, sorry. Attendance, okay. Is there any questions? Well, if there's no question, I'll pass the mic to ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Alex. So we have okay, our researchers here. Do you have any questions? And also our postgraduate. Any question to Mr. Alex? Yes, Dr. Marni.
Hi, Mr. Alex. I'm Marni from Faculty Intelligent Computing. I have two questions. Okay, first thing, when we submit for the first paper for the initial stage, do we need to follow all the format or just a draft? Number two, since you said that IEEE will provide a discount to Unimap author, so how can we figure out the total price that we need to pay? That's all for me.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So give me 1 minute. I will share with you. There are too many tabs here. The first question, yes, even if it's the first submission, you need to strictly follow the IEEE article template. If you recall this slide I was sharing earlier, let me see this. If you recall this slide, I hope you can see the screen now. You see this rejection of format? This is in the pre-screening stage, which means whatever you are submitting in, your paper will be checked regarding the topic, regarding the format. If your format is not following the IEEE article templates format, your paper will not even go through the review. It will not even be passed down to the review to the reviewer. Straight away it will be rejected, and you need to reformat the paper and make sure it complies. That's the first one. So the second one, let me show you this part. So the APC discount is with regards to the journals. So this is the journal, the paper submission page. So I'll just use one of the template. Let's say this one, resume submission. In one of the stage is about matching organization, let's say author affiliation. Not this one. One of the stage is about affiliation. So in here, you have to collect, right. So you have to select all these. You have to do it in a step-by-step manner. Confirm, you have title. That's how you can log out. You have to remove. I'm not sure whether I can show you this step. Under the match organization portion, you have to show the Unimap, which is Universitas Malaysia Police, the full name of the so-called the university. Then it will be matched that you are actually coming from UNIMAP. Then it will be, your paper will be proceeded to the next step, which is additional information and the final review. At the time of submission, there is no payment or anything at all. You don't have to worry, just keep it ongoing. After your paper is accepted, if you want to publish as open access, you will receive a notification indicating the congratulations, your paper is accepted and you have chosen to publish as open access, and you will be notified in terms of the publication fee, in terms of the actual publication fee, which is discounted. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Mr. Alex, there's also a question in the messages from Mr. Ashmat Mardian Shah.
Oh, I see. Is there any requirement of authors which requires authors must include external, such as different organizations, different countries? I'm not sure whether I understand the question correctly.
Is that means the collaboration, Mr.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Right. No, there's no
Yeah.
such. I mean, there's no. Yeah, correct. No, there's no such requirement. Or you must. Of course, we nowadays everybody encourage collaborations. Well, even if you just write a paper yourself as a single author or researcher coming from the same university, we don't. To be honest, editor, reviewer, they don't care. They are only looking at the quality of the research. That is the single most important thing they are looking at. If I can, Matt knows me, I always joke a lot. If I can collaborate with someone from outer space, the researcher doesn't care. But if I bring something that is super intelligent, super smart in the paper, then yeah, of course it matters. Yeah. I hope that answers the question. The focus is on the quality of the research, what kind of topic, what's the progress, what's the impact of the research, rather than who you are working with. It doesn't mean we are working with, you know, around the world, it gives you an advantage. That may not necessarily be the case. Okay, sure. Mr. Faisal? Yeah, please.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Alex.
Oh, ma'am, yeah, sorry, my apologies. Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Hazia. I would like to ask you about the just now you show we can actually find the upcoming conference
Yes.
on the IEEE Explore, right? When
Yes.
I go to IEEE Explore, I can see at the bottom part of IEEE Explore there is upcoming conferences, but I just don't know where when you click the
Oh, my apologies. It's here. Yeah, they should make this much.
again.
Yeah, they should make this a much bigger font rather than this, right? My apologies. Yeah, my apologies. I'm going too fast. So it's here. See all upcomings. So this is the link. So if I do it now, it will bring you to a pop-up window, and this is where the page is. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So we can filter the location there, right?
Yeah. You can do a search. You can filter by the two most frequently used one for me is I will choose the date, because I know for our researchers, you only have certain windows where you have time.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, you're all busy. So the date really is very helpful. Another one is obviously location.
Yes.
Yeah. I like to go to Malaysia all the time. Ken knows. So I always choose Malaysia. Yes, and
Thank you very much.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Right. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Just share the IEEE Open Access page from UNIMAP. Yeah, that's what I forgot to show everyone.
Yeah,
Allow me to let me show everyone here. I think everyone should bookmark this page. Yeah.
Just we are collecting all the information and put it um, together,
Alright,
so
yes.
our community can find. I hope this can be a guideline for all the researchers and the students, the UNIMAP community. So maybe they would like to um, take a look, or the IEEE title list
Yes.
for the discount program. So
Yes.
you may find all this kind of information. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I may add on one more thing is, I know nowadays most of the publishers, they are embracing on this open access publishing, and some of the publishers, what they have done is, whatever discount or agreement they're having with university libraries, they have certain limitations. For example, the authors can only publish on this list of titles, or in this list they get a discount, while for the rest of the journals they don't have discount. But for IEEE, we are very simple. Any IEEE journal which offers open access publishing, you can publish it with the discount the library is getting from researchers. So you don't have to check, oh, is this one having a discount, another title having a discount? As long as you want to publish with IEEE in open access, you can publish in any journals that offers open access options. They are all discounted. Yeah. And thanks, ma'am. I think this is great. I forgot to mention this. We actually have a very good video to show you the step-by-step of what I was showing you earlier in the paper submission process. And this is very helpful for our researchers to, to know about the procedures or going through all these steps. What are the informations you need to put in? We are submitting the papers. Yeah, this is a very good website. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I will stop my sharings now, and I believe that's all for today. Yeah, let me stop. How do I stop? Okay, that's all from Alex. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex Liu. So we have a great presentation, and we got all the information on the publishing. So if you if you have any further question, you have any further information, you can always contact us at the library. If I don't have any answers, I will contacting Mr. Kent and also Mr. Alex, to get the exact answers for all the questions. So I think it's a good session for today. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex, and also Mr. Ken is also in the line. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Thank you so much. Hopefully can meet again in future.
Sure. I always like to
thank
go
you.
to the library with the staircase going up.
Oh,
It's a very nice design. Yeah.
Please have a visit there. Maybe
Yeah.
we can organize a physical session.
Sure.
Future. Okay.
Definitely.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you so much. Have a nice day
Yeah.
to
Thank you,
all.
everyone.
And also, thank you. I also put the attendance link, so you may fill out all the attendance link. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, everyone.
Okay,
Bye.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you,
Welcome.
Nazia. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.